Hey guys, I'm just getting set up here on Instagram too. How's everyone doing? Where are you coming from? We're going to do Fertility Friday Q&A, so if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. Hello. All right, I'm trying something else. I'm going to try to multitask today, see if this works. Fertility Friday Q&A. Okay. All right, how's everybody doing? I'm going to be packing some welcome boxes. Hello. All right. Awesome. Hey guys, it's Heather Rodriguez. I'm Heather Rodriguez. And today's going to be our Fertility Friday Q&A. I have some questions I'm going to start with that people sent in. Thanks for sending those in. I'm also going to be packing some welcome boxes from the events that I did this past week. It's so exciting how many people are going to be joining us for the 30-day weight loss for hormonal health workshop. So if you have any fertility questions, this is just going to be like a fertility Q&A, really informal chat. Hey. And where are you coming in from? And then if you also have any fertility questions while I pack some boxes. Okay, so the first question that I have is, which one first, the castor oil kit and self-fertility massage or the fertility cleanse? So ideally, my answer would actually be both. Those work really well together. One of those isn't like a cure-all. It's not like you're going to just do, castor oil packs and self-fertility massage and then everything is just done. So self-fertility massage and castor oil packs, those are for helping to increase circulation. Those are helping to clear out old things, bring fresh new blood, help the communication loop between all of the glands. So that's really helpful, whereas the cleanse is helping the body to cleanse itself and to support hormonal balance through supporting liver and all of that. So all of those factors, as you can see, can be very beneficial, but those are just kind of the beginning. That's one of the foundations. There's 5 pillars when it comes to natural fertility support, and those 2 kits cover 2 of them. Just to give you like an idea of kind of what, the outlook of what it might take and what needs to be done to get benefits is to approach all 5 pillars, to have something in each one of those categories. So if I had to pick one over the other, I would pick the fertility cleanse kit. But ideally, I would do all of those. And then you're going to, and more, after you get that first part done. From Massachusetts, your favorite oils to add to castor oil packs for fibroid cysts and circulation. So when it comes to using essential oils for castor oil packs, I really like to focus more on kind of what type of actions and supportive actions they're going to have on the body. So reducing inflammation, helping increase circulation, helping to support healthy hormonal balance and healthy estrogen metabolism. So that's more the approach that I go. I don't focus necessarily on those specifics of like cysts or things like that. As an herbalist, I'm helping to support healthy normal functions within the body. So sorry, Facebook, you guys are a little bit crooked. Let me see if I can fix that. So some oils that I love for that. I really love ginger. I really love chamomile. Chamomile is a really gentle, supportive one. But when it comes to essential oils, you can't just buy any essential oils. Sorry, I've got a phone call. You can't just buy any essential oils. Like you can't just go to the grocery store. You can't just go to Target, wherever places, because you're not going to get the benefits. Yes, they smell good, but there's a difference when you can get an oil for $5 versus $30 or $40. There is definitely a difference in how they're produced and grown. My husband and I, we own an organic farm, so I really understand firsthand what a difference soil health makes and how you're growing something and the difference that makes in the quality of what you're making. So the type of oil company that you're using is going to be extremely important to actually getting the benefits. My progesterone's at 4.8. Is that good for trying to conceive? So you're going to have to ask your doctor, whoever ran that test for you, because labs are different. I don't know. I don't read labs. But if you're wanting to support healthy hormonal balance, there's progesterone is an aspect of it, but you need to look at the whole picture because progesterone doesn't play alone. Sometimes when there's low progesterone, there could be high estrogen. There could be nutrient deficiencies. So there's kind of a bigger picture just besides looking at, hey, Gloria. just besides looking at the specific number, like that is an indicator of something, and then you can kind of explore that further. Hey, Fabulous. Hey, Genesis. Nice to see you guys. I know it's so confusing. When will fertility kit phase 1 be available? I'm not sure. I'll have to check on that. I do not know right off the top of my head. Hey, from Calgary, Canada. I'd love tips and advice on how to support early pregnancy. I've had 5 early miscarriages, chemical pregnancies. I am so sorry. So that is a pretty complicated question. If you want to go ahead and send me a DM, so there's questions I'd have to ask. You know, we'd have to approach it in a whole 5-pillar kind of way. It's not just like, oh, here's this great herb that does all of those things. You know, so message me because that's a little bit more complicated. But supporting early pregnancy, I can speak to that. So when you're in early pregnancy, there's a lot of things that can be used, and there's a lot of things that can't be. So like what you're taking now might look totally different once you're in early pregnancy. So early pregnancy, you're wanting to, one, kind of get through early pregnancy if you're experiencing a lot of like nausea and things like that. You're wanting to help support good sleep. You're wanting to make sure you're getting enough folate. Folate's extremely important for early pregnancy. So your focus kind of changes to nourishing and supporting your body and to helping a lot of the discomforts and things that might be happening in early pregnancy. So things change at that point. My LH level is low. How to improve it naturally? So LH levels are part of a larger hormonal cycle. So we're wanting to always support hormonal balance. We're always wanting to support hormonal balance overall. Even though you might get something back in your test that's specific to one type of hormone, they all are working together. So we have to think of the larger systems involved, like the endocrine system, right? Or it's helping to support the ovaries, helping to support different parts of the body. And then that's what, in turn, your body's able to help support, and you'll see those levels change as your body's being supported. So that's how I approach that naturally, is again, I look at 5 different areas. I look at helping to cleanse the body, because with our modern day world and everything that's going on, we want to make sure that we're helping deliver, we're helping to prepare the uterus, all of that. The second is going to be nourishing. So diet plays a really big role in that. I like to start with cleansing first, though, because it's hard to go straight to nourishing if you're not taking care of like getting the chemicals out of your life or helping your body to prepare and cleanse itself. And then I like to, so nourish is going to be flooding the body with nutrients. That's going to be eating a whole food diet. It has lots of variety, lots of colors, lower on the processed food side, and then lots of anti-inflammatory foods and foods high in antioxidants. And that's where superfoods can come into play as well. The third pillar is going to be balance. So that's where we're focused on hormone balance and having healthy support for the endocrine system. So that's going to be nourishing the endocrine system through the use of herbs, essential oils, various things, depending on kind of where you're at and what's going on for you. So balancing hormones. And then the next is going to be protection. So we need to protect our bodies now from all the chemicals external. We need to protect from the issues of stress. So helping to deal with stress and work through stress. So that's protect. So that would be getting rid of chemicals in the household that are mimicking excess estrogen. And then the last is going to be self-care. And I might need a new name for that one, but self-care basically is doing like self-fertility massage, acupuncture, exercise, meditation, castor oil packs, those types of things that kind of bring everything together and have a self-care aspect to them, but also increase circulation and support the body overall. So that is how I like to approach it, because all of those different areas have an impact on where hormone levels are and where your hormonal health is. It's not just like, okay, I can just use Vitex and I'm going to be good, because we want to always address the root cause. We want to understand and support the areas that are the root cause of this. The tip of the iceberg is the LH level, the progesterone level, whatever it is. But there's all this stuff happening in the body that can be supported. And then the end result is that number changing, the body changing that number. I hope that makes sense. I probably just rambled on for a little bit. Okay. I do water fasting as well, wondering if I should stop that to get pregnant. So water fasting is like a whole nother category in the natural health world, and I think it's absolutely fabulous. But when it comes to natural fertility and supporting your body preconception, personally, my belief is that we should build up and not be depleting. So depleting would be doing fasts, doing very harsh cleanses, those types of things, or doing types of diets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Doing types of diets that cut out entire food groups. So like for preconception health, I don't think that we should be doing that. Other times of your life, there's so many other types of things you can do. You can do water fasts, you can do intermittent fasting, you can do all these other things. But for specific preconception care, I do think it's important to nourish the body and provide as many nutrients as you can to prepare ahead for pregnancy instead of depleting, building up. I was so excited to see my smiley face on my advanced digital ovulation kit. So I ovulated day 16 and 17. Yeah, my inositol helped. I'm going to IVF consult next week, so I only have 1, 2. Awesome. Congratulations on your smiley face. Hey, Mary, are you at work right now? Nice to see you, Mary. All right. I'm packing. I'm getting your kit ready. Thank you for the detailed information. Awesome. So if anyone has any other natural fertility questions, I'm doing a fertility Q&A. Someone was asking about specific supplements and herbs for the cervix. So this is a really interesting question. So the cervix is part of the uterus. It's the bottom part of the uterus. So anything that's going to support tonifying the uterus or bringing health, nourishment to the uterus, so say like raspberry leaf or uterocalm or those types of things, are going to naturally benefit the cervix because that is a part of the uterus. But when it comes to say something such as like a loose cervix, I don't know of anything natural that can change that, especially with what high of a risk it is to not have a stitch put in for that and what low of a risk having a stitch is. So what that means is some women have a loose cervix where they aren't able, once there's weight on their cervix, it just opens even in pregnancy. So they're not able to carry a pregnancy because of something called loose cervix. And generally what they'll do is put some stitches in early pregnancy, and then they'll just take them out around closer to the due dates. So when it comes to natural therapies, I personally, yes, use tonifying herbs and things, but I would do the stitch. I just don't, it's just way too important. And I don't know of anything that's like a guarantee or that would even work to make the cervix hold in that situation. And the alternative to it is very mild. There's no, it's not like it's a medication or something that you're taking. What is my opinion on colon cleansing? I have done your fertility cleanse. Fiance is adamant about doing a colon cleanse, then eliminating gluten. So I think colon cleansing is actually fabulous, but I think it should be done in a very gentle way. So for instance, we're starting on the 25th, we're starting the 30-day weight loss workshop for hormonal health. One of the first steps that we're taking is we're doing a gentle colon cleanse. Now, what I mean by gentle is that you're able to go on about your day. No one else in your household is aware that you're doing a colon cleanse because there's some colon cleanses that everyone in your household is aware that you're doing a colon cleanse. Let me know if any of you have ever know what I'm talking about. Or like you can't go to work because you're on this colon cleanse, right? So again, during the preconception period of time, I think everything should be very gentle. But yeah, I think it's beneficial for sure, especially when you're wanting to address like nutritional things, when you're wanting to start a new diet, all of that, helping to clear out the colon is, I think it's good for everyone. Now, I've seen many women who've been very successful with colon cleansing, but it's something that is very beneficial. And I work with a colon cleanse that's extremely gentle. And Mary's at work. Who else is at work? Are you guys at work on Instagram? Mary is. You're too funny. Does clove tea help with ovulation? Not that I know of. All I know with clove tea is it's good for digestion, helps the body deal with parasites, and it's very high in antioxidants. What do I think about the SMEP method, and also thoughts on intercourse every day in the 5-day fertile period? Thank you for your channel and videos. They're very helpful. I don't know what the SMEP method is. You have to type out what that is. I can't figure out what that is. Thoughts on intercourse every day. So it depends on if your partner's sperm health is tip top and count is tip top, then yeah, frequent sex. If not, then every other day. I mean, obviously talk with your doctor about that. But that's generally kind of the rule of thumb. Shoni, yeah, you can message me and I'll share the one that I recommend. Working from home counts. I know. I'm working from home right now. This is my home office, right? You're too funny. Is DIM a good supplement to reduce estrogen? I personally love DIM. I think DIM is a wonderful supplement. So what DIM is it's a substance that is found in cruciferous vegetables that naturally helps the body to metabolize excess estrogens quicker. It's a lot more complicated process than that, but that's my quick summary. It doesn't negatively affect your estrogen levels. Otherwise, I know I've gotten some messages from people recently asking about that. But it's a great supplement for that. Yeah, it's one of them. It's one of the approaches that I like to take. Do I recommend acupuncture for conceiving? I think acupuncture is definitely beneficial. Just like anything, it doesn't work for everyone. But I think if you have the funds and you've got someone near you, I think it can be beneficial. But it's not absolutely necessary. There's a lot of rivers to the ocean, if you know what I'm saying. There's a lot of different things that you can use to help support yourself. I really like acupressure because it's something you can do for yourself and you can do it really frequently. And I also love reflexology. So those are all things that I teach in the drop cycle method. If you want to know more about that, you can message me. Do we ship to Germany? We do. You just have to check which products you're going to be ordering and if Germany allows them in. But you can message me and I can get you in touch with Sonia. Nubian Queen, you're struggling with PCOS. Yeah, so PCOS is super common, right? So many women are going through that. So some of my top things for PCOS is to really get an understanding of what insulin resistance is and what you can do to help that in your body, because PCOS can be managed. And it's really important that it is managed before pregnancy because it increases the rate of miscarriage. So we're doing all these steps, right, to get pregnant. We're doing all these things so that we ovulate. But you also want to make sure that you continue all of these steps through pregnancy. So for PCOS, managing healthy blood sugar levels is key. And that can just be done through dietary choices. And you don't have to be perfect all the time, but just having a good understanding of that. I have some videos on, let's see, you're on YouTube. So I have some videos on my YouTube that go into great detail about this for PCOS and why. So I think understanding and even just getting a little geeky and getting a little, with understanding what's happening in the body, what insulin resistance is, when there's high amounts of insulin in the body being released because the body's not responding to that insulin signal, that's circulating and that can affect egg health, that can increase testosterone levels, and that can affect your hormonal cycle. And that whole cascade is what causes ovulation to not occur. That causes, for some women, weight loss to be very hard. The chemical or the hormone in the body that's released to let you know that you're full doesn't get released. So there's all this cascade, but that can be managed naturally and for yourself through dietary choices. So a quick way to do that would be to make sure you're eating on your plate, your protein is the same size and taking up the same space as whole carbohydrates, so whole grains. You don't have to cut everything out. Some people go on a no carb diet, you don't have to, but if you're doing whole grain, it has fiber in it, and you're doing amounts that are equal to protein, and making sure you have fats every single meal, and that you're eating lots of fruits and veggies, and the fruits that you're choosing are lower on the glycemic scale. I know that's a lot if you're just like kind of getting started and new to all this, but that's a summary. So that's step one. And then once you've got that down, then you can bring in the things that are going to help to balance and support all the other aspects of it. But honestly, if you're not managing it through your diet and have the insulin response and that insulin part taken care of, a lot of the herbs and things won't work. And it's me doing an injustice to not tell you that. It would be so much easier for me to answer these questions and say, oh, just do this, right? But that's not what's going to truly help you. So it will once you have that aspect taken care of. So thank you for listening to my entire rant about PCOS. But really, that's it. I mean, that really does make a big difference. Okay. Okay. I'm assuming, so can black tubes really be healed with digestive enzymes and fertility massage? There's no way I can make any claim to that. Some women have done a lot of self-care therapies and the body's been able to get rid of excess scar tissue in the body and support healthy fallopian tube health. So, I think it's worth a try. It's not very much money, but, I can't say it works for everyone. There's no way. What is good to recover my period? I haven't, let me see, I gotta see what time it is. Okay, a couple more minutes. what is good to recover my period? If I don't have one, can I have a baby? So not having a period is one way of the body speaking to you to let you know that there's something going on. So there's generally about 5 different reasons someone may not be having a period, and they're all very different. Like nutritional deficiencies can play a role, hormonal imbalance can play a role, stress can play a role, some other types of fertility issues. So if you haven't had a period like for a while, like it's not just this month, you should go and get your go see your doctor and just get your hormones tested, talk to them, see what's going on, so you can get a baseline of what's happening, so you don't waste time. Another aspect is nutritional deficiencies. A lot of people don't realize, even in our modern world, that we do get and have nutritional deficiencies. Our diets are so processed, and the nutrients or the foods that we are getting that are healthy, a lot of them are grown in soil that's really depleted. So that's where I would start. I have an article on naturalfertilityinfo.com that goes into the 5 different reasons someone may not have a period. And that's like another good place to kind of start to give you some ideas. And if you don't have a period, it doesn't necessarily mean you're not ovulating, but I would want to get that kind of like figured out first, because that's, that's a normal function of a healthy cycle. So, but I do know one of my friends never had a period and she had 2 kids. Does DIM reduce estrogen to an unhealthy level or act as an adaptogen? So DIM is not an adaptogen. Only herbs can be adaptogens, at least in my mind. So DIM is just a substance that helps to kind of accelerate the metabolism of bad estrogens in the body. There's a lot of different types of estrogens. There's 2 specific ones that DIM helps to kind of move along the breakdown of them, the metabolism of them, and then you pee it out and poop it out. So it doesn't cause your estrogen levels to go low in the other direction. It doesn't work like that. It's kind of like an estrogen cleanse. I don't know how to, simplify it. Hey, Doreen. All right, a couple more questions. I'm going to hop off for my next meeting. So every month, 10 days before my period, I get 1 full day where I have nonstop, really strong cramps all day, almost like labor pains. Oh, that sucks. To the point that I feel paralyzed. I've been tested and hormones are normal. So 10 days before your period. Oh man, that is so tough. There's a couple things that I would personally try if I was experiencing that. Go ahead and send me a DM, and then we can talk a little further about that. If you're wanting to try some different things out. But prostaglandins is something to kind of look into, because that is how we have cramping stimulated and feel pain in the uterus. So prostaglandins are something that's in the body. It's not something you would take, but that's kind of a starting point of understanding what might be happening. So why don't you send me a message so I can just ask you some questions. Please do, hey Astrid, please do something to get my estrogen right. My tummy's big. Remember it from the last video. What's the hormones in my female body and how should it be normal so my body is beautiful? Your body is beautiful regardless, Astrid. Okay? Step 1, your body is beautiful. Regardless, your body's amazing. Your body's a miracle. None of this, that kind of self-talk. We need positive self-talk about bodies. And I say this with love. So when you're gaining a lot of weight around the belly, a lot of times, it's not always, but that can possibly be lending itself to saying, oh, there might be excess estrogen in the body. Because the more estrogen we have, the more belly fat that we tend to accumulate. So taking steps to reduce to reduce or help the body deal with excess estrogen if that's actually occurring. There's lots of different ways to do that. It's a lifestyle change. So the 5 pillars, I'm going to be doing a bigger class on the 5 pillars because that's what I'm always referring to and looking back at. Sorry, I'm packing these boxes. I have so many of these welcome kits to send out. I'm trying to get them done today before the weekend. So looking at the 5 pillars, so one of the first places is to help the body to deal with that. And fertility cleansing is great for that. Diet is great for that. Also looking at getting rid of xenohormones from your life and switching out your natural care products. And I can help you with that as well. So it is a lifestyle change. It's not just one. It's not just DIM. DIM's a part of it. Does low vitamin D levels affect fertility? What I do know is from studies that I've seen when there have been correlation studies. So correlation studies when a big group of people have filled out all of these forms and they've tracked them for a period of time, and then they make correlations, right? It wasn't a study done for something specifically. They just kind of connected the dots. So correlation study, Women who were having issues with ovulation, some type of fertility issues, were low in vitamin D more so than those who were not. There wasn't a direct connection made, but again, if you're deficient in anything, it's going to affect your body. It's going to affect hormonal production. So, yeah, and vitamin D affects so many other things. And it's so cheap. It's such an inexpensive supplement. You definitely want that. I have endometriosis. This often has to be something to think about. Yeah. I see mixed reviews on drinking red raspberry tea after ovulation. Does it help or inhibit? Red raspberry tea is not my go-to whatsoever for ovulation. Red raspberry tea is extremely nutrient dense. It's very high in minerals. It helps to tonify the uterus. That is its main, it helps other things, but that's its main purpose in like the pregnancy world. So that has nothing to do with ovulation. Perfect. So I'm ovulating right now due to Clomid. Should I start my progesterone cream tomorrow? Yeah, you should definitely talk with your doctor about it before you do so, since you are on medications, but progesterone cream should be started right after ovulation. Nubian Queen, why don't you go ahead and send me a message and we can chat. Okay, guys, if there's any last questions before I hop off here. What essential oils to avoid while waiting for the big fat positive? Thank you for all that you do and how you teach us. So when it comes to essential oils, it depends on how you're using them, what you're using them for. You can actually use a lot of essential oils, not like in quantity, but like lots of different types of essential oil plants during pregnancy. You just have to understand which ones you can use and can't use. So I definitely have some resources for that. You can reach out to me and we can talk about that. But also when you're using essential oils during pregnancy or anytime, you want it to be high quality because it's not good. There's so many things I would avoid if I was just using them from the grocery store and for things to smell good. Is there an oil I can use during beta weight? Yeah, so just send me a message, see what you're trying to support. If you're trying to support stressors, things that you can use that you would start using now, you can use in a pregnancy. That would be the easiest way to avoid that. I've bought some castor oil. Thank you. When do I start using it? I just finished my period. Yep, you would start now, Mac. I generally suggest to do it up until ovulation, just because I don't like to suggest people to do things during 2-week wait that are stimulating to the uterus. Not that it's actually going to do anything negative, but I'm educating on the internet. I'm not seeing you guys here in person. So during that first 2 weeks, I like to do them 3 times a week for like 15, 20 minutes. I found that to be pretty beneficial. What's the best supplements to help with the cycle? I want babies. So the answer is not simple to that. There's not like, okay, just take A, B, or C. Everyone's cycle is different. Is your cycle short? Is your cycle long? Are you spotting? So on. So the easiest thing would be to reach out. You know, maybe you want a consultation, something that's specific to you. Learning your cycle. Here's something you could start doing right now. Tracking your cycle and tracking your fertility through basal body temperature tracking. There's now Mira is another tool that I recently found I really like. There's Temp Drop. There's all these gadgets now that are available to help you track your cycle. That would be the #1 place I would start if you're new to all of this and you're wanting to start trying to conceive and you're like, okay, you know, where do I start? Learn if you're ovulating and when. That's like #1. That is #1. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend and you do something really nice for yourself. All right. All right. I'll talk to you guys again soon.